Hello and welcome, one and all, to yet another very special RiffWiki.net interviews, audio interviews. My name is Dave Chadwick, aka Sugar Ray Dodge. You can check me out on the web at sugarraydodge.com. Send me emails at dave@sugarraydodge.com. Did you like that? That was my big patented opening thing.
Nailed it.
Where I like introduce myself like I'm some big damn deal. But anyway, as you all just heard, I'm not alone today, which
No.
which would be odd if I was on the RiffWiki interviews and it was just me. That would add the audio part. But no, I am with the legendary, the hilarious, the just awesomeness of Rikk Wolf of Incognito Cinema Warriors XP. How you doing today, Rick?
Hi, Internet. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, this is something I've actually been looking forward to for a really long time because I've wanted to do something with you, just like just something anything since we first kind of started to get to know each other just a little bit
hmm
back when I was doing fundraising for that Riff Life movie that kind of died a horrible death.
Aw.
But the thing was is that what I got from that process was that I kind of got known a little bit within the riffing universe, or as I call it, the riff world.
Ooh, nice.
Just within, people kind of like started knowing who I was just a little bit, and
Yeah.
and I got the advantage of getting to know people like Rikk Wolf of Incognito Cinema Warriors,
Ah,
XP.
you're kind of a big deal.
Yeah. But no, it's just like, gosh, it's like at some point I want to do something a little bit, more with all these people that that I've met through this process, and this is a big part of that. For those for anybody who's listening to this who doesn't know, I mean, I can't imagine people just stumbling across this and not knowing what riffing is, what Incognito Cinema Warriors XP is.
What is
Yeah,
this?
I know. Just give us like a quick or lengthy rundown of just kind of just like the history of of that project.
Sure, sure. It's not like we all got together in some kind of weird corporate board
I
meeting and
know, right?
said,
It's like,
yeah, yeah. Some people seem to think that happened. It was just a bunch of random circumstances. I happened to be playing in a band at the time. That's the weird thing about ICWXP is it has roots in starting and springing from metal
yeah,
bands.
like in some band that we were all in at one point. That
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very weird that way. I'm a very strange Misty. I don't meet a whole lot of other Misties that are like covered in tattoos and listen to like progressive melodic
Yeah, I
metal.
know they're very into I've noticed like a lot of Misties. They're very into Rush and they're very
Yeah.
into like the Eagles and things like that. None of those guys aren't great, but
No,
yeah,
no, they're amazing. Yeah, I love Rush. But yeah, I happened to be in a band at the time, and we wanted to shoot a music video, and so I saved up and bought what was at the time a really whiz bangy camcorder that shot this newfangled thing called high definition, and shot the video, and I was like, well, I really enjoyed that, and now I have this camera and nothing to do with it, and at the same time, I don't want to say discovered. I do want to say rediscovered Mystery Science Theater
hmm
3000 on the internet. I was vaguely aware of it before, but I wasn't able to watch it when it was airing because we just didn't have cable. I lived out in the boonies, and we didn't have
Oh, you
cable.
and me both. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had cable out where I mean, like I
Oh
live
yeah.
out here in rural Weber County, Utah, and I'm here right now. I have cornfields on all sides, but we did have cable. I watched Mystery Science in the sci-fi years with Mike, Kevin, and Bill.
Lucky
But
son of a.
yeah, I know, right? But no, I get not knowing
Yeah.
about things because you're like out in the middle of nowhere and not
hmm
really like not super tuned into what's going on the big cities. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's a weird town, man. I mean, even still today, it's at least 5, 10 years behind the rest of the world. There's kids now just like, yeah, Limp Bizkit. It's like, whoa. I guess I
Stone Cold
drove.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What? Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, that's super weird. But yeah, I wasn't able to really watch it when it was airing, which bums me out in retrospect. I would have loved to have been on top of it when it was coming out, but because of the internet, I kind of discovered that. I found Mike's solo commentary on the colorized edition of Night of the Living Dead, and I was really into directors' commentaries. I was learning a lot about how to film just from commentaries. You know, there's a lot of nuggets of knowledge in there, and
directors are talky people.
Oh yeah,
They will talk your ear off.
You're about to find that out.
Yeah.
And so then I threw on Mike's commentary, and I was like, hey, this guy's kind of ragging on the movie in a playful way. This is fun. And looked up his name. I probably didn't Google it back then. This is like 2007, 2006, something like that. And Mystery Science Theater, and I got some episodes, and it was, oh my god, this forever.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like once you realize that, like, okay, this is where I want to like plant my flag. There's really no turning back.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit, but
sure. But long story short, had the camera, reignited the MST3K flame, and when me and my buddies would get together and watch movies, some of the comments that would fly around were like, these are slightly above average jokes. They're not the same kind of like Joe Blow comments you hear at the movie theater. Some guy trying to be funny and taking off the whole theater. We might want to point cameras and microphones at this, maybe.
I know, right? Yeah.
But what really was the catalyst was discovering all of the other sort of like fan tributes that existed at the time, and learning how easy it is to do the whole Luma Key Shadowrama stuff. And it's like, this is all stuff we could do. And not to rag on those fan projects that are still come around, new ones today that just kind of recreate the SOL set and recreate Tom and Crow. We didn't want to do that. We were like, let's give. I mean, and then they would just call it Mystery Science Theater 3000, and
like they were fooling somebody.
Yeah. It's got like 100 million thumbs down. We didn't want to do that. Like I said, not to rag on people who do that. That's very cool that they're doing that. But we really wanted to like.
You wanted to be your own thing. You wanted this to be yours.
Yes. And what's funny though is we get kind of like more flack for like, oh, copyright infringement than those guys do.
I was gonna ask about that a bit later on, but since you just brought it up, it's just like I kind of like I always when I see comments, when I see people say that you guys are a ripoff of Mystery Science Theater, I was like,
but we're the best damn Mystery Science Theater 3000 ripoff out.
But I'm number one, that's true. But the thing is like it's like they don't even watch the movie. Like anybody who sees Mystery Science Theater and Incognito, Cinema Warriors XP, they know, like, that these are they're completely different things. I mean, it's like they the same germ of an idea, but like ideas are cheap. It's just like for me it's the execution of it. Like ideas, you can grab an idea, but the execution, they're like snowflakes. Like they're all different. I mean, Stephen King uses that analogy when he hears people saying that he got the idea for Under the Dome from the Simpsons movie, but those are totally different glass domes over a city stories. But no, but as stupid as that sounds, it's
there
true.
Should be only one sitcom, only one drama.
Yeah, I know. It's just like it's like that's like saying that well, that's probably a bad analogy, but Game of Thrones is just a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, which is totally is. It's just not the same. It's ridiculous. But go ahead. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Well, I did mean to cut you off, but I just wanted, I just wanted to say that. So, but go ahead and finish what you were saying about you guys could do this and point cameras at what you were doing. It's funny that also plays into the whole you guys are a ripoff thing. We didn't like we were planning on putting it up somewhere on the internet, but it was really like, let's just do this one episode, maybe two if we really have a fun time. We didn't give any thought to like how the riffing community at large was going to react to it.
None of that. It was really just some 20-year-olds dinking around in the garage. Let's build some puppets and sets. Let's riff a movie just for fun. I want to learn how to make movies. This seems like a fun way to learn how to do it. It was not supposed to be this thing that lasted almost 8 years now,
I
I
know,
think.
right?
Yeah, it's so weird.
It was like what,
So
2008, right? Or 2007?
2000, 2008, I think, is what the copyright on our first one
Okay.
is. That's
Yeah, no, I was looking at IMDb a little bit earlier. It's like I know they're somewhat recent, like
yeah.
but like not super recently, but maybe like I know it predates the current presidential administration.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah.
Yeah, we were on Bush when we started doing that. Yeah, but we've been real. Just like the phrase I always throw around is like we're real deer in the headlights with
Mhm.
everything. I mean, we just make it, and like whatever we when we originally conceived of it, we were not like, oh, we better change this and do that because people are gonna get people on the internet are gonna get angry about it. We just didn't
But
get
that
anything
never
off of it.
happens.
No, never.
Yeah.
But we of course expected that, and that's why it doesn't cut that deep because we expected it. I mean, like, and it's died off. I'm sure there's still little caves on the internet somewhere, be like, ugh, ACWXP, but they don't like. We're in this weird little safe bubble that our fans kind of like.
Yeah, they kind of protect you guys. Be like, no, that's
Yeah,
just like so. But I've noticed that. I think community. Are you part of? Everybody in this Facebook group is probably going to squeal with glee when I mention this. But there's a group out there called it's like the biggest mystery science story not storybook. That's my thing. Mystery science Theater 3000 group on the web. It's got like 5,000 people in it. It's called
hmm
Deep 13, and it's run by our good friend Erica. And
our good friend too.
yeah,
She's
yeah, no,
amazing.
yeah, she's great. Yeah, but I noticed that like they love you guys there. I mean, like it's almost as if you guys are the heir apparent to Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
ever
so
having a bad day, I just drop by
yeah,
there.
they'll tell you all the great things. They'll tell you how much they love you, and it's just like, oh, well, this is. And I'm not criticizing them for it because it's an awesome
Me neither.
place. Yeah, but yeah, it's
Yeah, they've been super positive there. That's funny too because when we first came out, our first introduction to the Riff world, as you put it,
mhm.
was this post on the Riff Tracks forums, and the it was entitled "How long before Best Brains sues these guys into a fine powder" or something like that. And I was like, "Whoa, what?"
I know. Well, no, the thing is, with that, and I can say this because I know Jim Mallon is not going to listen to this, but Jim Mallon has
He's got like a bunch of CIA recorders.
yeah, it's be like no, yeah, like Jim Mallon he's bugged my house out here in far west Utah. Yes, that's where I'm from and where I live. This place is called Far West. I'm not
Wow,
kidding.
creative.
But yeah, it's but no, Far West has two R's. But
Art. Oh,
far west, and they
it's a
say
hard
that
R. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of goofy. But he actually Jim Mallon actually sued Mike, Kevin, and Bill because they were doing
Film crew,
yeah,
right?
they were doing the film crew, and
Yeah.
that kind of
Heard
was
about
like, but now why would you do that to somebody that you're all still doing business with? Because I can't imagine that Mike Nelson doesn't have some kind of say in where Mystery Science
it.
Theater goes and all this other stuff. But it's just like
Yeah.
so Jim Mallon kind of got a reputation for being
Yeah.
like needlessly litigious.
Yep.
So I mean,
We've
so
never
I
heard a
yeah
fart in the wind
yeah
from the dude. So
yeah.
I
So
mean,
no, I heard the same thing. People were telling to me that Mallon was going to sue me because of Storybook, and I was like, that dude has no idea I exist.
yeah, exactly.
It's like that. Like, look, like if that guy sues me, great, because the whole riffing community hates his guts, and
Yeah.
they'll rush to buy whatever it is I'm selling. So I think
No such
that'd
thing
be
as
the
bad PR.
best thing that could happen to me. But go ahead. What you were saying, like you at the Riff Tracks forum, that was the first thing you guys ever.
Yeah, and it erupted into this whole huge like debate over legalities, and like my third cousin's hamster is a copyright lawyer, and these guys are gonna get destroyed in court. And
What?
yeah, it was this huge
That's
like pissing contest over no, what they're doing's fine, no, what they're doing's not okay, blah blah blah, and it was like, guys, we're just trying to make people laugh. I mean, whoa.
Like, you guys are like this. You guys are going way too deep into it. Number one, it's an original idea. Like, there's no way. Like, you guys are totally safe with what you're doing. Yeah, no matter. But I
It
don't
seems
think.
that way.
Yeah, I don't think that people really understand. Like, now, people who make those kinds of comments, they really don't understand intellectual property law.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
Yeah, you know that's funny because like again, we didn't expect anything to come of this,
Oh
and then
yeah.
a few weeks later, or maybe a month later, I'm on the phone with the producers at RiffTrax.
Really.
Yeah, and they were kind of grooming us to be the among the first iRiffs to go up. And
Hmm.
the only thing that it was like you guys, because in our first episode we used the exact same kind of shadowrama with the theater seats that go
Oh yeah.
across the whole bottom of the screen. They're like, you should probably change that. That's the only thing we see being an issue, and then that's why RiffTrax is the reason we have the balcony.
Hmm.
Like that wouldn't have happened without the RiffTrax guys
Right.
being like, this is probably the only thing that's a little bit of a gray area. The rest of it, I mean, it's a different name, the different characters. And especially in the season 2 stuff, like where we expanded the world and stuff,
Hmm.
we've done our best to turn it into its own animal for people.
Hmm.
So. But yeah, that was our first exposure to the riffing community, which it was a little bit of a rocky start, but from there, you know, the people that did latch onto it grew, and we have just this awesome, happy little family. And you know, I'm just some dude, so people can write me, and I'll get back with them as soon as I can. There's no degree of separation there, and we try really hard to listen to our fans. And it's like, oh, this I don't know, because we had a laugh track in our first episode to make it feel more like a sitcom, and people hated that. So that went immediately. So
Oh gosh, that's great. Now, when I the first thing, like one of the very first things I noticed when I first discovered your guys' show was that one of the things that stood out to me the most was the props, and I wanted to like and the robots and all this. Like, you guys have really good production value
thank you.
for a for a show that by all rights seems like it shouldn't have any budget at all.
Yeah,
It's just, but you guys do some like, especially in the more recent episodes. It's like the robots. Johnny and Topsy and Flux. They look fantastic.
thank you.
And not, on top of that, I don't know what it's for, but I remember when I was doing Storybook and I sent you some characters or some stuff that I was doing to
Yeah,
get your feedback on it. One of the guys I drew was a metal man,
yeah,
and you sent me like a picture of this mask, and of this metal man mask you guys had made.
yeah.
And I think it's your wife. I think it's Bethany has her profile picture.
Oh yeah, she's wearing it in a
She's
profile
wearing
picture
it,
right now.
and
Yeah,
I'm just like, that looks, that just like in my mind, it's like that would be a cool thing to explore, like that, like just like this girl Mega Man, because it's just like it's the image of that is very
yeah.
like it's very intriguing. Like that's something very cool
Well, you know what's
to
funny?
explore creatively.
There's actually, I believe it's a fan made game. I think it's called I'm gonna butcher the name. I think it's Roku-chan. Roku-chan. It's actually is like a female version of Mega Man, and like all of the robot masters are like,
Or like
I don't know,
chicks, yeah.
plant woman, whatever.
Splash Girl.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean it's great. I've played it. It's a lot of fun. It plays just like an old Mega Man game. But yeah, she dabbles in cosplay and stuff. I think she might be trying to put together a whole metal woman get up. I think we're going to sneak that helmet in somewhere in the show. That's actually for an unrelated project,
Oh,
but it
really?
came out so good. I'm going to sneak it in somewhere on the show.
No, it's like, no, but it does look like, because how you have, in you guys are actually one of the very few. I don't want to say riffing, because just like very few like riff shows within the within the Riff world
The
that
Riff
that kind of has like this this ongoing story, and
Yeah.
that's largely been abandoned. But you guys hold on to it. It's people just go in and they just they just do what Riff Tracks does now. They just
Yeah.
because that's what I do in my. I've only done 3, and I just finished my because I do like 1 a year. In fact, I'm looking to do maybe another one this year before the end of the year. But
Hey, quality over quantity. I mean, that's obviously our
I know.
business model.
But it's you guys act you have like you said, you have a camera and you point it and you record these things. It's that's something that people they like they don't really do, and they don't build they don't build Johnny and Topsy and Flux and all that. I just how to like that process of where you're going to go with the story. Obviously it's like it's very loose and very be like whatever the jokes, whatever jokes you want to tell dictate the flow of the story, which is how it should go in comedy, things like this.
Yeah.
But how did did you of course you consciously came up with all these different characters that aren't that isn't Commander Rikk Wolf. So I just kind of want to know just a little bit about like where the characters maybe came from, and just like more like the physical process of building these guys.
Sure.
Because I know like I have a puppet and it's Scruffy. And it's Scruffy is just like this. He's like this blue bear puppet. It took us like 5 days to make him, and he's just this simple bear puppet. He can't do much except talk. And
I think you showed me a video where you were tormenting some passerbys with him.
Yeah,
which was really funny.
But no, it's just like I know it was like this huge deal to just like bring Scruffy into reality. But with your guys's like. Particularly, like Topsy is my favorite because he's just like he's a popcorn bot. Yeah. I mean, who comes like that's brilliant. I mean,
thanks, man.
It's so great. I just kind of like want to know like where everything maybe kind of came from.
Sure. Well, the whole point of the project was, of course, nothing against riffers out there that just riff the movies.
Oh yeah,
that's the mainstay.
Yeah.
But we, of course. At least, as the guy that conceived of it all, was like, what I loved so much about Mystery Science Theater was that you got that real sense of camaraderie. And you had the bots and, Joel or Mike, and they just felt like, even if they were kind of like, giving each other a hard time, that you could tell like they were really buds.
Yeah, they were.
My guy kind of doesn't like the robots. We're different in that way.
You don't even like your own clone.
Yeah, I know, man. I hate everybody. But it was always very important that there be puppets.
Yeah.
I love puppets. Clearly, I produce a puppet show. You probably know that. Well, some days I don't. It's like, oh, cool. We're spending all this money to shoot at this location, and now this puppet's jaw doesn't want to work anymore. That's cool. But it was very important for us to have that, and I'm a kit basher, now that 3D printing's around, I can do a lot more than I used to back then, but it really was just, okay, I'm walking through Walmart or Toys R Us. This looks like it could be a robot's shoulder pad. This looks like it could be a robot's hand. Just grab all this stuff. And in true MST3K fashion, it was all just slapped and glued together right before we shot the first thing. And that's how it all came together. And they were just based off sketches. I sketched out Topsy. I sketched out Johnny. And it was like, okay, this is kind of what I want him to look like. And then, through the process of going out to stores and just wandering around looking like a weirdo, you find all these different components. And then that plays into how they end up looking. And then you end up with the finished thing. And that's always a lot of fun because when you're checking out, person checking out is like, this is a lot of weird random stuff. And they kind of look at you and you're like, I'm building a robot.
They look at you like, like that episode in Breaking Bad when Heisenberg like he notices the guy buying all this stuff to build his meth lab, and he goes up and like chews him out. Like, you moron, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm a lot more like, let's go ahead. Let's see where this goes. I'm going to try to creep
okay, well, let's see where they're going with this.
I'm building a robot. It's going to be my girlfriend.
This robot is it's going to have a rusted jaw and one green eyeball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Standard fare. Yeah. So that's how they came together. They're very kit bashed. It's funny too because Johnny's head was this Spider-Man 3 foam ball that just happened to be in Toys R Us.
Yeah, I wondered what that was. It's just because it's. I wonder where you got that guy's head because it's just like it just doesn't look natural.
Yeah,
it's like it's not something that naturally occurs in nature.
No, yeah, it's this Spider-Man 3. It was to promote the movie Spider-Man 3. If that gives anybody kind of a timeline as to where this originated from,
2007
ish. Yeah,
yeah.
And I swear, if I ever discover the secret of time travel, I'm going to use it to do incredibly petty, selfish things, like go back to the Toys R Us in 2007 and be like, dude, listen, you have got to buy all of these things here. Because we've had to like reach out to fans to try and find them and send them to us, and they don't paint them the same way as they used to. We have a dude named Scott Campbell who actually went out and made his own and did a resin mold of one for us.
Really?
And yeah,
Wow.
that's the other thing I feel like I should say is like our fans, you know, they've always been incredible, but within the last couple of years, they've stepped it up. I mean, just a few months ago, we were at Kansas City Comic-Con, and we had a guy drive 6 hours, I think, to have us autograph a meticulously, perfectly recreated Topsy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was mind blowing for all of us. I mean,
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's. I'll shoot you some photos to links to him. But like, he just nailed it, and we set it out on the table so he didn't have to carry it around, and people just completely thought that was the puppet that's on the show every episode. So, and there's other guys out there building them too. They send us pictures, and it's just, oh man, goosebumps. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's I haven't reached that level of success yet, but you know, I don't. Like, no, actually, let's talk about me for just a second. Enough about you, Rikk. No,
I've had enough talking about me anyway.
Yeah, but when I very first started doing my own riffing show, it was originally because it's called SRD's Movie Night, Sugar Ray Dodge's SRD's Movie Night, but
Gotcha.
it was originally Scruffy's Movie Night, and I was doing it all, and I did a couple of shorts in the Scruffy voice. What I found out later when I tried to do a feature was that if I did this, because you got to do a riff like 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Like
Otherwise, your brain dribbles out the side.
Yeah,
of your...
it totally does. And the thing is like if you do but the 20 minutes that could take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to get right.
Oh yeah.
If I'm constantly if I'm doing the Scruffy voice for 4 hours, I remember I did the Scruffy voice all day one day for this shoot. We went down to this amusement park here in Utah called Lagoon, and we did like this. I was basically Scruffy all day. And and the next day, not the next day, but I couldn't talk for a week after that. No, I literally it's like my voice was gone. I was just like, okay, well, there's a limit on how long it was the first time I realized there was a limit on how long I could be Scruffy.
Yeah.
And
I am Scruffy the dog.
Yeah. But the thing was, it's just like when when I went to go do the feature and I realized that how long it was going to take, I realized that okay, this can't be a Scruffy thing because it will kill my voice. So I just basically had to just be me. So that's the thing with characters. But let's talk a little bit.
End up in the same place as many metal singers.
What's that guy's name? The guy from Skid Row.
My knowledge lies mostly in 90s.
Yeah. Sebastian Bach.
Sure.
But no, it's like,
Shawn Michaels and all.
Yeah. But let's talk about kind of like the limitations, if you will, of the medium in just in the vein of like how you guys do it, because earlier you guys actually shoot a movie along with the movie that you're riffing. Like so it's basically two movies. It's like one part is you guys are in the theater fighting whatever it is you guys are fighting, like this episode,
Hmm.
and you're also in. And you're also watching the movie. You're watching,
Yeah.
yeah, you're watching Bloody Pit of Horror or whatever it is that day.
Yeah.
Um, when you do that and you want to make money from it,
Huh?
yeah, I know you're kind of limited to what the public domain has to offer.
Sure.
But and
Which is quite a wealth, let me
yeah,
tell you.
right. But no, but the thing, no, the public domain. I don't know if people realize it's huge, but
Hmm.
it's also like finding something that you can like make your own and like occupy this kind of space
Hmm.
in the riff world,
Right.
something that be like people can like riff the same movies like across, because like every riffing troupe is different, so it like
Yeah.
like say if someone riffs like the Wizard of Oz, or like more direct approach with that's more relevant to Incognito, is that Riff Tracks did a Bloody Pit of Horror a couple of years after you
Yeah.
guys did a Bloody Pit of
Yeah, that
Horror.
was crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're two. You can watch both of them,
Hmm.
and it's like you don't really feel like it's the same. Like you don't feel like it's retread
Yeah.
area, because it's like it's almost like it's two totally whole different things. Even though like now I'll admit that if Riff Tracks ever does one of the movies that I've riffed before, I like I might feel like, oh well, that's like, well, that's not a place I occupy by myself anymore.
Yeah.
That's like so. But
It's okay. It's like this movie's so bad it deserves another pounding.
oh
It's
yeah,
fine.
absolutely. No, but the thing is like, but with Incognito, I mean, you guys have kind of like you've taken like these limitations. Like you guys can't really do like Watchmen or
No.
yeah, or
No.
like big blockbusters,
No.
like within the confines of that world. But what you
We
can,
could,
yeah,
but
but yeah,
I I like my possessions.
I know,
So.
right? But what I think was kind of ingenious, what you guys have done in the last couple of years, is that what you guys have done with with the Resident Evil, and more recently what you have done with your Let's Riff series that I just need to finish watching right after this because it's great.
Playing with myself.
Playing with yourself, like
Yeah.
that's so. It's like what you've done is what I was saying before is like you want to find a place within the riff world that you can just own and occupy and say
Yeah.
like this is my turf right here. This is this is how this is what I can occupy. And
Carve
I
out your
thought,
own niche within a niche
yep,
within a niche, basically.
absolutely. So I mean, you guys did, Bride of the Gorilla, Soapy, like all this other stuff, and the Great American Chocolate Factory. I had actually seen that short
Really?
before, like not all of it. I'd seen part of it when I actually went to that place that exists in real life. I actually went
Oh,
to
you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, and like, but
Chocolate
it's like,
Holy Land.
yeah, they were, but it was like playing in like like when you go to Disneyland or Six Flags or whatever, and they have like these videos that you watch as you're in the line, but you're not really watching it. They had that.
You're
on,
here. Here's more
yeah,
video
I
of where you
know.
are now.
I think that.
Great.
I think that I might have seen it there because like I recognized it, but I didn't recognize like all of it. Like, oh, I've seen that
Mhm.
someplace before, but I was just like, but as I was watching the Great American, like the whole time, I was just like, I've been there.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
The
have
locations.
been there, and it's just like, and it hasn't changed in like what 50 years.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
And it
It's
looks like
yeah. It's like just like out in this like just drove 4 hours from Baltimore into the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
guy's backyard.
Yeah, it's just and
Welcome to Hersheyland.
and they have a hockey team, and it's just like
Oh, that's right. They showed them for a second, didn't they?
it's nuts. But like you have getting back to like you have like all these things like like Lady Frankenstein and Resident Evil, and now the Mega Man Legacy collection. It's just like you guys were very like I thought it was very crafty the way you guys kind of like
Thank you.
dug yourselves in there. I mean, like do you guys have
Completely
a
by
process?
accident.
I know, right?
But thank you
Do you-
nonetheless.
Do you guys have a process on be like, okay, what movie do we want to riff next, or like I think this would be cool, or hey, let's do the Resident Evil deal. So I mean, like, where does all that come from? I mean, does it
Right.
happen organically, or do kind of guys are like be throwing pens at each other for like 2 or 3 hours to come up with these ideas?
Well, ultimate say has always gone to me as to what we pick. I guess I'm kind of like the TV's Frank of the
Hmm.
bunch, in that regard only.
Yeah.
I bow to the Frank quaff. Um, but in the beginning, it was just kind of like, where do you get public domain movies? I don't know. Oh, archive.org. Okay.
Archive.org. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, gosh, I don't know. I think we screened
You can
a
only sift
couple.
through that stuff so much.
Oh yeah, before thoughts of suicide start to
Yeah.
sneak in. I don't know why exactly we picked Bride of the Gorilla for the first one. It just seemed like,
It just seems like kind of like
cheesy
that. Yeah. That very. It's
enough.
like it's that very perfect '50s B movie kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that like you think everybody should know about, but they don't. Like, what do you mean you don't know about Bride of the Gorilla? How can
yeah,
you not?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that movie has a bunch of strange things with like around the cast.
Mhm.
I don't want to say her name's Barbara Payton. I think she ended up like being a prostitute and dying on a park bench.
Oh,
Something super depressing. Yeah, there's all this weird stuff with Bride of the Gorilla. We
oh
actually,
man,
yeah, it's dark, dude.
I
Bride
hurt
of the
my soul
Gorilla's,
just now.
yeah. You need to have the facts checked on all that, but I'm pretty sure that something to that effect happened. So yeah, at some point we want to revisit that and riff it with our new chops. Um, but from there, it was just kind of like, I think the next one was like, oh, this movie's in color. That's nice. We got people
Like,
like, black and white. And we are like, oh, okay.
like
We
what?
obviously didn't stick to that, but
Yeah, but Bloody Pit of Horror, I think is what most people like would kind of associate with like the most like visual, like like what they remember
yeah.
most visually about the movies in Incognito.
Right.
And it's because I think a lot of it has to do with, just like the very visual nature of the character of the Crimson Executioner.
Yeah, yeah, very visual.
I mean, like you see a guy like that, and you're just like, okay, like there's no way, like we can't, there's no way we're not doing this now because like,
Right.
we
Oh,
can
yeah.
look, it's the Crimson Executioner.
Yeah,
What was your
yeah.
first thought when you guys saw like and later on Soapy, but with the with the Crimson Executioner especially, would you guys like know immediately like, okay, this is what we got to do?
It was love at first sight, let me tell you. No question. Yeah, as soon as we got to that point in the movie, it's like, this is the one. This is the one. I just knew. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's hard to describe to somebody who perhaps doesn't riff movies, or maybe it is, and I don't know. But there are moments where you're like,
Stop
we have,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, we have to riff this entire movie because of this part. You know?
Like the whole thing could just be like mannequins falling off the sides of walls, and people just wandering around like very slowly getting tortured to death,
Yeah, sure.
or like scraped to death on some kind of rotating apparatus.
Ow.
Feel like I wish I could defend myself somehow. Oh, I could just get off this thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very ambitious movie. I will give it that. They tried to do a lot of things, none of it well.
They didn't do anything. Like every choice they took like pains to take, it was the wrong choice.
Definitely.
Okay, okay, let's have the Crimson Executioner not wear a shirt the whole movie. And
He's
who's
Mr. Universe. Come on.
Yeah, who's the Crimson Executioner? How does it function? Is it the guy that died centuries ago, or is it this new guy? It doesn't matter. It does like clarity.
Details. You're confusing the brand.
Look, it's just a shirtless guy in a red hood and spandex. All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I've actually gotten reacquainted with him quite a bit because in the last 5 to 10 minutes of our new episode takes place as if it were a 16-bit role-playing game like Super Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
And of course, Crimson Executioner shows up. I've had to design game sprites of him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I've been staring at his moist awfulness for the last several weeks.
His oily chestness.
Yeah, it's hard to translate into pixel art, but I think I've got it.
It's hard to translate onto film. It's
Yeah.
like without harming your soul. But it's yeah. But no, but I think that the next one after the Crimson Executioner that people most recognize as part of like just like the space you guys occupy is Soapy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But
Yeah,
those
like
two are fun.
and the kid. What's the kid's name that the Soapy
Oh,
haunts?
let's
Yeah, the
just
guy in the
say
robe.
Billy.
Yeah, no, I actually when I actually used that guy's robe. Like I drew him for the Riff Life thing. You remember when I drew all you guys for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually used that robe that was on that kid from that short. It's actually that's actually now part of the template pack for somebody who's in a robe, and it's actually I've actually used it
Oh.
once since then. So the robe from Soapy is now like part of like it's just kind of like I have like 60 or 70 just like bodies, and that robe is one of them. And I
Gotcha.
actually just recently reused it in a comic for Volume 2.
Watch
So,
out, man! You're gonna hear from the Soapy the Germ
I know.
Fighter.
It's be like we want our whole $2 that we are owed from the profits you make from this book.
That short's pretty old. Like, we want the $2.50.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing I don't think people realize is that
We're making fun of dead people.
yeah.
Think about it. It's messed up.
Is that going back to like just like the production of Incognito and just all this other stuff. I don't think people realize how much like it's very, very time consuming to do something like that. And it is also not cheap.
No.
It's just be like and in
Check
this
out my
world-
credit card balance sometime.
Yeah, check out all mine. Oh, I didn't say that, but no, but and the thing is that now I'm not accusing anybody in this audience of anything, but
Sure.
there's we live in an age on the computer and on the internet where a large amount of people feel like that they shouldn't have to pay for things because they because like oh well they're already making tons of money. If I take this file, it won't hurt. To be like it's just going to be like they're well off. It's like anybody who like kind of like does this, realize you're not. I mean, you're making some money, but it's not really.
It's maybe enough to put some into making more of it if you're lucky.
Yeah. So I mean, like I don't want to. I'm not gonna put any numbers out there, but it's not as high as everybody might think it is. It's like like these things they don't really have the global brand and distribution of things like I'll riff a Disney movie and I'll make millions of dollars because everybody already has the DVD and everyone's just going to buy it. Like no, it doesn't really work like that.
No. Yeah. Although I do drive my Ferrari onto the set of ICW XP
every day.
They've taken care of me. That one now. I mean, my 2005 Sebring. It's kind of like a Ferrari. If
kind of a little bit, but
yeah.
to talk about now let's talk about the Resident Evil thing. How did that
Resident Evil that bit? Okay.
Yeah, how organically did that idea come? Did you guys say, I'm like, well, let's just riff the story mode here in Resident Evil, or
Right.
it'd be like that's brilliant because number one, it's already up on the internet everywhere. Number two, nobody gives a damn.
Right.
In fact, video game makers expect you to put all their shit up on YouTube anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how did you guys come to that? Like, well, let's just do that.
Yeah.
I think I thought it was a brilliant move along with
Thanks.
the Let's Riff thing that we're going to talk about here later on.
Gotcha. Well, like you said, just like let's plays are everywhere for better or worse.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Who doesn't want to watch a 12-year-old scream homophobic things for 45 minutes straight? It's great.
That's what I've always said.
Yeah. It's about time. And I grew up playing the first Resident Evil. It's always stuck with me. I'm a diehard fan for those first 3 games, and just why there's a considerable amount of piss and vinegar that comes from me over the movies when they come up that have nothing at this point to do with the video games. But we did a movie review of one of the Resident Evil movies, and that's our most successful YouTube video that we have up. I believe that has the most hits, and so that was kind of like, oh, there's a lot of people on our channel that identified with the betrayal, the Hollywood betrayal of the Resident Evil fan base. So that makes sense to do. I know the material very, very well. I know all the things about Resident Evil that are funny and weird and kooky, and we can talk about that. And it's been really cool in a way because it's very different from riffing a movie. Like when you're riffing a movie, as you know, it's like you really have to cherry pick your jokes for the spaces in the dialogue or wherever you want to put them, and you got to pick your best ones. And there's all this other stuff that's good that ends up on the cutting room floor. But with the video game, it's like, well, we have this great joke. Let's press pause.
That's one of the like I just have this very fresh in mind because literally less than an hour ago I was watching your Mega Man riff.
Thank you.
And it was like, and I still have like, how much more do I have left to go? I have like, I'm at 12:42 of 1955 on episode 4 that I'm probably going to watch like right after this. The
epic conclusion.
Yeah, but I like how he just like, oh hey, I forgot, I have to go. Like we could like all that filter stuff, and that you guys talked about in there, like what I thought was really, really funny was when when Fireman killed you, and the editing, you guys just like that whole thing where you just like fast forward it all the way through. Spoiler alert! That was just like, I thought that was.
Yeah, you don't do that when you're riffing a movie.
Yeah, you can't do that. So there's a lot of leniency. So you can like just hit pause and you guys can like have a conversation about what the hell you just saw.
Yeah,
but
you don't get to do that when you're riffing a movie.
You sure don't. No, because that movie's gonna go on without you.
Yeah, you're not in control. And that's been a lot of fun for me and also Nick Evans, who does Topsy. For people who don't know, there's 2 different Let's Riffs series we're doing. One's called Incognito Gaming Warriors. The other one's called Playing with Myself.
And that's the one where it's just Rikk and
Rikk. It's just me.
Yeah, I thought that clone business.
But with a clone.
I thought that was really, really great. I just
Thanks.
that
was born out of just like utility too, because it's like anymore it seems to me like the most successful YouTube channels, they have something up new every day. I don't know how these people have time. Well, they're 12. That's why.
I know, right?
So that's just a way to like
get video games all night long.
Yeah.
Hey, look at my Mario Maker level, everybody! Isn't it great?
Oh, the cream of the crop of entertainment.
I know, right?
Like, this is so stupid. He said,
PewDiePie.
Yeah, but so what other advantages do you think, like things like Resident Evil and the Mega Man, the Plague with Myself riff show, like what advantages do they have, say, over movies? I mean, other than that you could pause it. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is with the public domain stuff is even if a movie's public domain or considered public domain, there are tons of these like shady fly-by-night companies that just kind of like haunt YouTube, and they'll put false copyright claims.
Oh yeah.
On
That's
like
happened to me quite a bit.
I'm sure it's happened to anybody who's ever uploaded a YouTube video by now, but I mean, especially you putting up stuff. Riffs and everything.
Don't even own. No, but here's the thing with that. Very, very quickly, my latest riff, SRD's movie night number 3, Ben and Arthur. Basically, the copyright hasn't been enforced in like a decade.
Nice.
So I knew that people really weren't going to want to pay for it. So
money.
I know. So I put it up for free, but the thing is that like, it's up everywhere else. Like, there's copies of it on YouTube that are 6 and 7 years old, and and one that just went up last year, the movie in its entirety, and it's got like 23,000 hits on it. The thing is, the dude who made the movie, he doesn't give it. he doesn't give he doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah,
Like, he really doesn't want to have anything to do with it, and I don't blame him. But
trying to distance
it'd be like
myself
he,
from that.
I think like he sold it to a distributor, and the distributor has since gone out of business, and
Yeah.
all this stuff. So it's
It's
just
an
like,
orphan film.
yes. But the thing is that it's not available on DVD. You can't
Really?
purchase it legally anymore. No, you really can't.
You
No,
can't. You have to break the
I
law
actually
to watch
I actually got one of the very last DVDs from Amazon to rip onto my computer to make it. It's that you really can't buy it legally anymore.
Yeah.
So if I wanted all my hard work to be heard, I would have had to just put it all up in its entirety someplace because you can't get it anywhere.
Right.
It's so. I knew I would run into problems if I tried to now that would cause lawyers to come out if I tried to sell it for money.
Sure.
With someone somewhere would find out and come after me if I was trying to make money off it. But since it's free, no one gives a damn.
Right.
So,
Right.
but it's I'm hoping it'll just stay up there for as long as the other things have, and just hopefully no one cares. But it's
Watch out for
yeah,
YouTube Red though.
Yeah.
Have you heard about all that?
what's that?
YouTube Red.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I think
am I going to be sorry I asked?
probably. It hasn't affected us yet, but on my personal channel, I have a few things like that have been blocked in the U.S. because of YouTube Red, and I don't exactly know what YouTube Red is. I think it's a service you can pay for to watch YouTube without the ads. When there are ad blockers, you can just install in Google and avoid them anyway.
Well, I don't know why you could just you just skip them after 5 seconds. Like, no, I need it now.
No. This guy's all sweaty behind the keyboard. Yes, but some things have changed around with certain companies and stuff, and I've had a few of my videos on my personal channel get oh, you're blocked in the U.S. now. Oh, okay. But the whole copyright thing, though, with the video games, at one point they were cracking down. A couple video game companies, especially Nintendo, was like, we don't want people putting our stuff up for free.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
Right.
and then
they realized they couldn't stop it.
right. There was just enormous upheaval for a month, and then they're like, okay, forget it. So yeah, now at least in the current climate, you can upload video game stuff, and you don't have to worry about copyright claims. So you can just, hey, Resident Evil, we'll throw it all up on. We're not going to have any copyright problems with that. Whereas even the Lady Frankenstein or Bloody Pit of Horror, every couple months, some shady little company would be like, we own the rights to this movie.
No, you don't.
Yeah, that's what I write back in the in the dispute.
No, yeah, it'd be no, but the thing is that YouTube and just most of the internet in general, that's an automatic. If somebody even lodges a complaint, it doesn't matter. They don't do any if it's valid or not. They just they'll just it's automatic. It's not even it's an automatic function. Oh, this happened. Take it down. It's no, and then you have to prove why you're right. They don't have to prove why they're wrong.
Exactly. It's basically Skynet.
It's
It's completely automated and it's evil. It's YouTube's content ID system is self-aware.
Yeah, because you gotta and then these a-holes don't get back to you for 3 or 4 days, or sometimes even 2 weeks. Be this is in the public domain, but and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they, because to flip something back on, that does require a human to make that happen.
Sure. Well, what's funny too is this has been happening a lot with us lately, and it's a glitch or whatever you want to call it in our favor. We'll contest it and be like, no, we're well within our rights having this up on our channel. The next day, this has happened the last 3 or 4 times, I'll get an email saying the claimant did not respond within 3 weeks, so you're fine now. Your video is not blocked anymore. That's the next day. They didn't get back to you within the next 3 weeks. The next day, you get the email you're fine. You're oh, okay. So it doesn't even work in anyone's favor. No,
it's just it's a cluster. I mean, no, I get that. You can't put go back to Watchmen or whatever. You can't put that up on YouTube. I mean, with Netflix now, there really is kind of with Netflix and to a lesser extent Hulu, there really is
No reason.
no excuse to not like pay for like $10 a month to watch all the movies that you want.
Agree.
So, but yeah. So let's see here. Oh man, that's all the notes that I had.
Oh my
No.
God, we're off script.
Oh no. But
So Back to the Future Day, that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, Back to the Future. Well, the thing is, it's like with Back to the Future Day, I was like, oh, it's gonna be. I was gonna have like this big party, and then the day came around, and I was just like, okay, I was cool. I was stoked about it for like the first 6 hours, and then it just became like, oh well, and then I just saw how everybody else was making this big deal about it, and suddenly I wasn't that interested anymore.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Be like, oh, let's do something cool, but let's like overexpose the shit out of it.
That's like me with zombies.
It's nuts. So like, what's on tap in the future for Rick Wolf and Incognito Cinema Warriors XP or Gaming Warriors XP and so on in that fashion,
and so on and so forth. And down and down and down. Well, right now we're still just full steam ahead. We're very close to getting a new DVD release done. We're about to hit the 3-year mark. I'm working on this one.
I'm going to talk to you about something after we stop the recording about that. But go
ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Hurry up!
I know. No. But just I want to let you know that I have a proposal for you.
Oh, okay. Sexy. No, we set out to do 6 episodes for the season 2 thing, and it's just more season 2 in name. It's not like, oh, this year they put out 6 episodes. It's like, no, for the last 4 years we've been working on this thing called the season 2 DVDs. Mm-hmm. We're very close to having that one done. We finally got back into filming. We've had a rough couple of years.
Yeah, I know, but the thing was, like you guys say, you've been back in film. Like every time I've talked to you this year. Mm-hmm. You've been filming.
Yeah.
It's just because I remember when I sent you the thing for like, hey, is it okay if I use your guys' image in Storybook? Mm-hmm. You told me like you showed it to everybody that day at the set, and everybody was really stoked on it. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that was morale boost,
man. And then when I got in touch with you earlier last week, like, hey, do you want to come on the interview? Like, well, I'm filming this week. And I'm like, damn, you guys.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's not bad. I was just like, well, geez, you guys must be like putting your nose to the grindstone here. So like, something's coming. Yeah.
This new one is basically like a Doctor Who episode in terms of like how ambitious it is. Maybe a little too much. It's taken us a long time.
Because I know last week you said, hey, can we do this on Monday? Because I'm just like totally exhausted. So, so it took that much of a toll on you guys?
Well, it takes a toll on everybody, but me, like, I have to like direct and do blocking and lighting, and then I have to jump in front of the camera and try to be in character.
Be Commander Rick Wolf.
Yeah, which is basically just me, but irritated.
I have to be Captain N. Where's my letter jacket?
Oh God, Captain N. Yeah, so like, and then I have to deal with like the people who own the location. Like, I have to do all of that stuff.
Yeah, you can't just shoot at somebody's house like doesn't that bug you when you see people like say they're making independent movies, but they don't go to they just film in like their parents' house. or something you could clearly tell to be like, look, this is like you're clearly just at your house, dude. Like that's not an office. You're clearly in like your sister's bedroom. Like that's, it's crazy. I mean, like that has nothing to do with what maybe it does, but like I sure hope I'm not the only one that notices that.
Oh, no way. Anymore though, man. I mean, not to be Debbie Downer, but we'll get on the internet and see stuff like that, and like it has 20,000 views or close to 1 million, and it is just like,
and people like it for some reason.
Yeah. And it's like your thing that you've worked on for like years, you put up a new clip of it, and it's just like 1,000 views. Yeah. But there are people who can't even get like 20 views on their stuff, so I'm very grateful for what we do get.
Yeah,
but that stuff does frustrate me as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, what frustrates me most about what you're talking about, not getting any views, is like my channel. I have like 2,000 subscribers, and it's like I got like 5 million views on my channel, and they're all stuff that I don't own. It's all
wonderful.
it's all no, it's all the stuff from like because the Mortal Kombat 9, the 2011 game,
Mhm.
the story mode is like it's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And like I see people, and this was back just slightly before the days when you couldn't upload things that was like longer than 10 minutes. Or
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
it's or something. No, oh, what it was is that they had. I remember what it was now is that they were putting up videos of the story mode, and I didn't have an Xbox 360 or then a current gen system at the time, except for the
Right.
Wii. But I really wanted to see the story mode. But people would just like they would put the story mode in, but they would have all their stupid fighting. They would have like, and they would lose a lot.
Oh no.
No, so that's
Party foul,
yeah.
dude.
So it's like 9 or 10 hours
Oh.
of like maybe like like maybe 3 hours of story, and I just had to like. So what I did was I downloaded a bunch of stuff and like just edited out all of these stupid ass all of the fights, and I put it up. I just put it up in 3 segments. The segments from Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 on my channel. But like, if you don't want to sit through all that other bullshit, like,
Yeah.
come here. And it's got like 5 million hits. But the thing is that those subscribers don't come back.
Right. Right. They're not interested in
yeah,
RiffWiki
and like
or
anything that you're doing.
Right.
And then, like they just want you to do the work so that they don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is the tough, frustrating thing about being a content creator now is that like you can't do anything original.
no, you really
Like nobody will find it.
Because like you don't have any brand recognition, and it's
No.
really hard. And it's really hard to kind of like build an audience without 1,000 trolls telling you that, like, be like,
You suck.
yeah. But it's just like you'd be like, oh,
Or let's plays.
but but it's like if you want to like advertise something like like on Reddit, you're gonna have like 10 or 20,000 people telling you that you suck and that you're a shill, and like,
Yep.
look, I'm just trying to look. I just want you guys to see my stuff, okay? It's like
No, you're supposed to sit in the basement and hate on other people's
I
hard
know,
work when
it's-
you've never
yeah.
lifted a finger to do anything creative
yeah,
in your whole
exactly.
life.
But just I mean, like, and I'm positive that outside of like the riffing world, I don't want to say bubble, but it's just like in fact, you and me were talking about this the other day. We were talking about like YouTube commenters. No, it's just
the
that
dregs of the internet.
people will just like say the most just
Hateful.
like unhelpful, unnecessary, hateful stuff, and it's just like, what the hell is your problem? You know.
It's like
I mean, like, do you guys get that a lot from like outside of the Riff world? I mean, I'm sure you do, but like, do you have any like nightmare stories about people just telling you that you suck, get off our website or whatever?
well, the hate, the death threats have kind of tapered off in the last few years. No, we're well, and you know, it's funny. I almost this is gonna be strange to hear. I wish we got more of that because you're nobody until people hate you. But no, like every once in a while we will get like a troll on one of our videos, and like they just get torn to shreds within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we don't really have to deal with that. We dealt with that a lot in the beginning, back in like 2007 or 2008.
You're ripping off MSG3K.
Yeah, got tons of that.
I know where you live.
I'm like, oh my god, that guy does know where we live because we mailed him a DVD and his return address.
Like, oh dang, yeah.
Maybe we should rethink this. Yeah, we don't have to deal with that too much. We really are in this safe little bubble. We did find a torrent site where there was some kind of message board section, and people were kind of ragging on us for expanding the story and all that. And there was just the kind of people that just want to see riffing and that kind of thing, and hating on us for that. But
you
inside
and your
our
art. Yeah.
yeah, just derp over movies.
Yeah.
But no, we don't get a whole lot of hate anymore. Our little community, small that it may be, is very, very positive and supportive, and our fans are insanely patient with us as well. So things are good in our camp right now. So
All right, so excellent. So you say that the you're just now finishing up the next DVD. When could we expect to be able to see that and order it online?
fingers crossed to the point of blood loss. Before New Year's, I'm really
Killer.
hoping. Yeah, we've had to push it back tons and tons of times because people would get sick or schedules wouldn't line up or a hard drive lost everything,
Oh,
and
jeez.
we had to pay $2,000 to get it recovered.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened 2 months ago. At one point we were
Oof.
like, yeah, I was going to save this for DVD commentary, but at one point a hard drive failed and we hadn't backed up in a while because we just didn't have the money to go get a big hard drive to back up to. Everything was gone and we had to send it off to Colorado to have data recovery people get it back for us. And everything came back. We didn't lose anything. So those people are heroes.
Very expensive heroes.
Right, but that cost a month. Somebody gets sick, and then because of that, like I got sick after
I'm
a
moving
con.
to Portland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go be with all the other weirdos.
The spirit of the 90s. Yeah, so I mean, things will just keep getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and like it drives me particularly like nuts. I mean, like we've been working on this one thing for 3 years, and like I hate that. I wish we could have a new one done once a month, but it's just we're shoestring, and we're not a huge production company. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast.
Yep. But I am happy to say, like, the one after that, we're going to have a big thing happen at the beginning and then a big thing happen at the end. And in the middle is almost all going to be riffing. And I'm hoping it doesn't take more than 8-9 months to get done. So
Killer. Yeah. I mean, because you guys are definitely the most ambitious. Yeah, I don't like
to our own detriment.
Yeah, like iRiff. I mean, iRiffing, that term is cool for use on the Riff Track site to differentiate it between their product and everybody else's product. But it's just
Sure.
I don't like I don't think you guys are derivative of riff tracks or anything else. You guys are your own thing. So I kind of don't like applying that term outside of the context of the rifftracks.com site because
Sure.
it seems it just
We
seems
appreciate that.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very good and of its own kind of thing that people deserve to give a chance. That it's just a Mystery Science Theater knockoff. But
Yeah, that's why that doesn't really cut that deep when people say that, because 99.9% of the time it's someone who hasn't watched a single second of the actual show. They just saw like a picture or something and are like, oh, okay.
and be like, oh, it's Tom Servo but with popcorn. It's like,
Yeah.
no, not really. But it's it's pretty great. But you can are the DVDs still available online? Or I mean you sent me some a while back and I watched the hell out of them. But can people still get the first seasons or whatever on DVD? Or
We still have quite a few left of the original season 1 stuff. Most of the season 2 DVDs, and this is actually a good thing and a bad thing. Most of them are sold out now, so a lot of them are up on YouTube for free until we can. I was about to say
there's almost everything is up on YouTube now, isn't it?
The early stuff is just like clips from.
Oh, okay.
The season 2, the first 4 episodes of season 2 are totally free up on YouTube on our channel. We have one season 2 that has not sold out yet. That's still on DVD. You can get it on our website, and it's very cool to know like there's thousands of our DVDs floating around out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I got them. I was just watching one last night. It was The Great American Chocolate Factory again. That's my favorite.
That's so cool to hear.
I really do. I like that, and I also like my 2 favorites. I mean, I like all of them, but my 2 favorites are Bloody Pit of Horror and The Great American Chocolate Factory. I think just because I just like seeing something that I've been to and seeing all these wisecrackers just rip on it. I just like it. It never gets old. Like I never get tired of it.
Yeah, you're not the first person to tell us that. I've had other people be like, "I've been there. That's my favorite episode now." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." A lot of people latch on to Soapy for its horrific weirdness.
No. I do like I like Soapy. He's just creepy as hell.
Yeah.
And you guys see, and that's another thing that's great about what you guys do. Going back to the production aspect of this, I keep intending to wrap up, but I keep thinking of new things I want to say. Is that you guys actually built a Soapy costume?
We did.
That was better than the actual Soapy.
Not a great feat, but yeah, that's still sitting in my garage. It's horrifying to see.
I want to use actually drew it was just the easiest Soapy you could have drawn. Like I didn't even put eyeballs on him or anything. I just just like a bar just says Soapy right there with the robe kid. But it's just I want to draw a better Soapy and use him in Storybook Volume 2.
We can make him better, stronger, rapier.
And Robe Boy, whatever that guy's name was.
Nah, generic 50s child name.
Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up for the official interview section of this recording. Rikk, is there anything else out there that you want to say? Like, where can people go to get all your great merchandises and partake of your wares?
ICWXP.com is your gateway to all things Incognito Cinema Warriors XP. Thanks for listening. No, just ICWXP.com. From there, you can jump to the Facebook, the Twitter, whatever your social media poison of choice is.
Their own wiki, which I should steal stuff from more often, but.
Yeah, and we didn't even make that. That's cool. So none of it's canon, but no. That's out there.
They don't even have Flux on that thing, but I don't want.
Yeah, it was built pre that. The guy that made that, I've been meaning to hey, dude, if you want some more help, just ask questions.
I might have to go on there and fix some things up, but
go for it, please.
Well, the thing is, I'm pretty busy with with the RiffWiki and stuff. So I think I would probably rather build your guys' stuff on my site first.
Oh, hey, dude, that'd be way more traffic that way anyway. Fine with that.
But anyway, so just ICWXP.com.
Yeah, just go there.
Just those 5 letters. It's it's not a word or anything. It's like ICWXP, like the 5 most natural words in natural letters in a row, just the most organic 5 letters you could think of. Just
it does roll off the tongue.
Yeah, ICWXP.com. Just go there. Get all your stuff Incognito, Cinema Warriors there, XP. I want to thank Rikk for talking to us today. Thank you very much, Rikk, for talking to us today. Thank you for talking to us today.
Happy to be here. I mean, this was a lot of fun for me, and yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to have to. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm Dave Chadwick, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Dodge. I want to remind everybody to go to my website, sugarraydodge.com, and check out my graphic novel, Mystery Science Storybook, Bedtime Tales based on the worst movies ever. I've taken bad movies from both Riff Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000, totally unauthorized. This is all me. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. But I drew my own parodies of Manos and The Room and Birdemic and things like that. And in fact, the one thing that people who have read the book, the one thing that's mentioned most to me is how much they love the Commander Rikk and the Bots Incognito Cinema Warriors XP cameo in the Time Chasers chapter. That's
Chasing Time is my favorite story in there, but I'm probably a little biased.
Yes, no, but the thing is that I wanted to it was already going to be cameo heavy, this the whole thing, because why do the point of the book was to put all these different movies in the same universe and just kind of tell them from a different kind of perspective. And if you can't see them interact, then, why do it? So it was definitely going to be very cameo heavy from the beginning. And I knew I wanted you guys in there because I always felt you guys were a huge part of the Riff world for since you've been around.
Thank you.
So, but when people who have read the book, who are within our little community, the first thing that they always say that they loved is that they were really surprised and happy to see you and Johnny and Topsy and Flux.
They were
Chasing Time. It's they were just they thought that was the coolest thing ever. It's the thing that's mentioned most to me by people who've read it, that they really loved that part.
Oh, well, that's extremely cool for us to hear.
Yeah, but anyway, go there. It's $3.99 on Amazon.com, and right now until November 1st, you can get it for $1 at Gumroad.com. Just go to SugarRayDodge.com. All the details are there. Do it now. But I want to thank Rikk for being here again, and this is Dave Chadwick, aka Sugar Ray Dodge, signing off.
Farewell.